What happened?
Pretty much.
Start laughing? What's going on? Hi guys, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Charlie.
And welcome back to the Gift of Gab. Today we have two very special guests. Well, 2.5. We have two of my favorite people here. We have my sister Mia.
Hello.
And we have my cousin Michelle.
Hello.
Okay, sorry guys. And today's episode is going to be everything mothers. I can't believe she did that, but okay. We're going to do everything mothers. So we're going to talk about like their journey as mothers, different situations that they go through and things like that. And yeah, I'm really excited to get into this topic with you guys. So thank you guys so much for doing this with me. Mm-hmm. We have my little baby cousin Vivian here too. She's like sleeping, but you know, as a mom, I know Michelle has to kind of like, well, you guys got to do what you got to do. So thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
me. Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna, Charlie, did you have any questions you want to start off with, or?
You can go ahead and start.
Okay. I think my first question is going to be for Mia, since Mia has an 8-year-old, almost 9, so he's kind of seasoned. So you're in your seasoned mom, kind of. Do you feel like that?
Sometimes. I guess you could say that.
You're a pro now. Yeah, you are a pro. How did you feel when you first found out you were pregnant?
Actually, I kind of laughed. Because I know, because it was just like really unexpected, but also,
yeah, that was unexpected. It was very unexpected.
Okay, so
God damn.
How do I put this? Growing up was not like other girls. I really wasn't out there like that
at all.
Mm-hmm. So I just thought I thought it was funny that I got pregnant and not these other hoes out here. Oops, can I cuss? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yes, you can.
So I just thought it was funny. But
you laughed, girl?
Yeah, I laughed because I was like, dang, this would happen to me.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what it was ironic to me.
Yeah.
But after that I was like, I was a little nervous, but I never was really like scared or nothing like that. But yes, my very first reaction was to laugh because I was like, dang.
Yeah, like the backstory, like my sister just does not fuck with men like that. Yeah. Like, not that she's a lesbian or anything, which would be fine.
I was just really shy and quiet. Yeah. I was scared of boys, to be honest. I was terrified of boys. I don't know. I thought other girls in my life was weird. So I really didn't do anything until my 20s because I was very shy. Very shy. So
my sister, like my mom scheduled my sister's prom date. That's how like
I forgot.
Yeah, she didn't even find a boyfriend or find a guy.
Yeah,
like my mom did it for her.
I didn't even want to go to prom.
Yeah, she didn't even want to go. So
I was gonna stay home, and she's like, I never got that chance, and I regret it. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do it for you.
Yeah. So that's the type of girl my sister was. So yeah, my sister was. You were 24 when you got pregnant.
Yeah.
And so she was 24. So yeah. So you weren't scared?
Not really.
Okay.
You had to have been because we didn't know for so long.
Yeah, it was.
That's because I knew as soon as I told, because we have a very talkative family. We always keep in touch with that. So I was like, I knew as soon as I told one certain person, everybody was gonna know within the next 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and plus, especially the first trimester. But then again, like, I still wasn't even sure the direction I wanted to go in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, I was like, because I'm serious. I wasn't even sure if I was going to go along with the pregnancy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was not even 100% sure, but I did decide, obviously to keep my baby. And then that's when I was like, okay, I'll tell everybody.
Okay.
Now that I actually made a decision, let me tell everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about you, Michelle? How did you feel when you first found out you were going to be a mom?
Terrified to the pits of my soul. I was very scared. I cried. I didn't sleep for 3 days. It was a catastrophe. It was a bad time in my life too. So it was too much going on. My mother had passed away a few months before, and then I had got with my husband because we, whatever with him, but it was a catastrophe.
Okay.
But I was happy. I wasn't happy. Well, I don't know when I got happy. I was going to keep it. I already knew that, but I just was so scared because I never wanted to have kids. I don't know. Women want to have kids growing up. Like they have baby dolls that they think are their babies. I didn't do that. I had a Jerry Springer lifestyle with my baby dolls. They all, was wild, popping it. And so I just wasn't like mothery. I didn't nurtury. I didn't like that. So I was very scared.
Okay. Was it the same feeling once she got here? How'd you feel when she got here?
Oh man, that's a whole nother thing. Because when she got here, I had postpartum. So when she got here, I don't know if I absorbed the whole she's here because I was in like a shaky space in my mind, like very nervous, and I just had a lot going on, like, but it was more, I didn't know what it was at the time. It just wasn't like it was I didn't have a connection because I was, I felt like I was very hands-on and good with her, and I didn't want to, neglect her. I was, really on top of the things, but it's just something looming over me that kind of just didn't say, you did it. And then one person, one of my friends said, Michelle, you did it. See, you were scared and you did it. I'm just like, oh, well, let me breathe and, absorb what's going on, because it took a minute. I don't even know why. I couldn't even say anything to the doctors because I was such in that, that foggy space. Yeah.
What about you, Mia? How did you feel once he first got here?
I was in love. I was in love. He was so
that was better cute. Than
mine. He was just so cute and so sweet from the beginning. Like it was a really awesome time. Because with me, I had a C-section, so like I was a little jealous because like I wasn't the first to hold my baby. Like they took him out, and then they gave him to my mom, and then she's grinning at me, and then like to get like right after the C-section, they take you to like a recovery room. So like everybody was holding my baby except for me.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that would have made me break down and stab somebody.
Oh. But see, also the anesthesia was wearing off, so I kind of had the shakes.
Yeah, I remember walking into the room like after they said she had the baby, and like everybody was crowded around the baby, and so I like went over there to Mia, and Mia's lip was like quivering, like
my
she
gosh.
was like she was
I had like
a
weird reaction,
and I was like so scared. I'm like, her lips quivering, her lips, and the nurse was just like, oh, that's just her anesthesia wearing off. Like
they didn't even give a damn.
They didn't even care.
No. So but yeah, so yeah, I was a little like jealous. I was like, I'm gonna hold my baby.
Yeah.
But especially because I had those shakes, I kinda was like not too upset. But yeah, I was a little, especially like because I had a C-section, I stayed in the hospital for like 4 days. So like it was just like 4 days of me just loving my baby.
I was scared. I wasn't thinking. I couldn't really. I was like, I gotta get home. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. It was just racing. I couldn't even absorb the joy.
I was just sitting up there grinning. Like, I remember being so tired, and it wasn't lack of sleep for like a crying baby or nothing. It was lack of sleep because I couldn't stop staring at him.
Oh, that's precious.
Like, it was in the middle of the night, and I kept saying, "Mia, go to sleep, go to sleep." But then I'm like, "Let me look over one time." Like, I kind of messed myself up with it. Like, I should have tried to take advantage and got my rest, but I could not. I was like, let me just look at it a little bit longer, because he was just so cute.
Aww. Braylon was cute.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to backtrack a little bit because Michelle kind of touched on
postpartum.
Yeah, postpartum. Mm-hmm. Did you have any questions that before we segue like into that?
You go into that. I think that's super.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to just touch back on that because we really don't talk about postpartum a lot, and we really don't hear about it until like it becomes severe. So like when people have milder symptoms or things like that, people really just kind of sweep it under the rug. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk to you, Mia, and your experience, and do you think that you had postpartum?
When I think back, when I was going through it, I did not recognize it, but then like when I think back on it now, I'm like, I think I might have been, dealing with something, like I know a lot of people think of just depression period, just feeling sad, but I just remember moments of feeling sad, moments of like numbness. I remember, I would like cry at the dumbest things. Like one time, I think it was my mom came in and just, she took the baby out the room, and I just remember being really sad and upset. And it's not like she took him out the house. She literally just took him out the bedroom, and just me crying like an idiot, like an idiot for, like I said, it was just the next room. But, and then just like, thinking, crazy thoughts, thinking, like I remember even having dreams like of somebody taking my baby. Like I was I was having even like my dreams were just, and like I said, I was fine in the hospital, but I did notice a slight change once I got home. And I kind of just like brushed it off or whatever, but like now that I think about it, like maybe I should have like reached out to somebody or, like I don't know, maybe because I was just so into my own thoughts, and I don't know, but I didn't reach out, and like I said, I'm doing fine now, but it's like, it's real. It can, it can happen. And, also, for other people, like now I try to watch out for other people, if I hear, somebody's pregnant or something like that, just their behavior, because like I said, just little things, I will start crying, or just long periods of just even numbness,
Okay. What do you think about for you, Michelle? I know you touched on it, so you definitely feel like you had it. But do you still like you're still struggling with it?
No, not anymore. I feel it was the worst in the beginning, and then it just kind of, the balloon just let out real slow. Like it just kind of, I felt normal again real slowly. But at first, I don't know, I was Googling stuff about
Googles everything.
My feelings.
I do too.
But I Google my feelings, and then I was looking at something called DMR, and it's something like when you breastfeed, or when this feeling that you get when you breastfeed your baby. And I don't know whatever it means for real, but that's how I felt when I was breastfeeding. I didn't want to touch, or I couldn't lay down, I couldn't relax. Even when I would pump in the mother's room, they had comfortable chairs, dim lights, everything you needed, was real cool and comfortable. But for some reason, I was sitting straight up, and my eyes are wide open, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I gotta go back to work, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Like I just couldn't calm my mind down.
And you said that's called DMRs?
Yes, it's like dysphoric. That's all I got.
Okay. Does it and like reiterate like how it makes you feel when you're breastfeeding?
It just made me feel kind of like gross, and actually I didn't even think about it until I talked to my friend. She was like, yeah, I couldn't breastfeed. It was just not for me. I just didn't like the feeling. And I'm like, I'm feeling a feeling. I'm feeling something that isn't really, like, I didn't love it. It was painful, but it just wasn't, I couldn't just stare at her while I was breastfeeding. I had to always have something in my hands or doing something. And, I just never really calmed down. But then eventually I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It took a while, though. I feel like my postpartum lasted a long time because I was real sad. And I wouldn't say, I don't know, I just wasn't, my mind wasn't calm like it was before I was pregnant, you know?
Do you feel like there's anything that could have helped you through that time? Like any resources or any kind of, I don't know.
I do, Charlie.
Okay. Can I ask you what that is? Like, just for like people out there who like might be struggling with that too, like that don't know how to like maybe remedy that or kind of attack that issue or anything like that.
Well, okay, so in my situation, my support system was fucked up. And I'm talking about my husband. He just ooh.
Okay.
It's almost over, y'all, so it's okay to say, but yeah, he wasn't he left me with Vivian all the time. If I had any issue going on, he wasn't, oh well, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and it wasn't a mandatory reason for him to leave. He just would leave. And then when he would come home, he'd go to sleep. And it just wasn't, weren't on the same page with what things needed to be done. But he was just going through something else. And that really made it worse because, our intimacy stopped. Jesus. And it just made, I didn't want him to touch me anymore after a while. I felt disgusted by him. That really, that was.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Am I laying it thick?
Yeah, you're kind of laying it thick, but okay, proceed.
It's okay to say it's almost over.
Yeah, it's okay to say.
Yeah, I'm about to get rid of that. But anyways, Camille looking at me. I hate to say it, but it, that woke me up. It really did. It woke me up. It made me think about, who I want to be around. And it's not him. I gotta put somebody else in my life. And I have Mia and Ashley and Auntie Wanda and Braylon and my dad and my sister. And so I'm okay. I don't need to, if somebody is in your life, they're pulling you down while you're going through something so serious. I was going to therapy. I was trying to get better, but he was just not, he was the negative energy, just trying to feed me negativity. And it was just too much. I couldn't take it.
Yeah. And I think it makes a big difference if you don't have a good support system.
It really does.
Yeah.
Because Wanda and being around women, because my mom's gone, so their mothering knowledge that they do give me is like it's needed. We got an intruder.
Sorry guys, we're doing we have my nephew here and everything. But yeah, so I think having a good support system is important. And
very important.
Yeah. How do you feel, Mia? Because I feel like, my sister's a single mom. I don't know if that's okay just for me to say. But she's a single mom. So I know that she has to do a lot of things on her own, and that even some things like I can't help her with, it's just, she's doing it on her own. She has support when we can give it to her, but there's sometimes that I'm at work or my dad was at work and mom was at work and she had to do things on her own. So how did you feel as far as like your support system?
I feel like in general, like because we have a close family, so it helped. Like having a support, and it don't even have to be family. Having a support system is very very important.
It's needed. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Not with a child.
Like when what's that saying? It takes a village to raise a child. It really does. It really does. Like, yeah, yes, I am a single mom and have to do things on my own.
Yeah.
But I feel like our family in general is like I said, pretty close. So, I was able, to get help, when I needed it. I'm trying to think. Wait, what was even the original question? I just started talking.
Just your support system, and how did you feel about it? Do you feel like there's anything your support system could have done differently? Just to be 100% honest.
Yeah,
I think we should ask that.
I guess that's a topic. I mean, that's just what I said about my husband. Ooh, let me calm down, y'all.
Not really. There was only one incident. You know what I'm about to bring up.
God.
It was right after my C-section, and it was every morning I would wake up with my stomach very, very sore where my stitches were. And I remember one time Braylon, my son, woke me up. He was hungry, and I could not get out of bed. Like, that's how sore my body was. So I was like trying to scoot out of bed, but I couldn't move because I'm trying to feed him. And then I just started yelling, like, help! Somebody help! I didn't realize, because like I said, we were asleep. I didn't realize I was in the house all by myself.
Yeah.
And then when I realized, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, so Braylon was in the crib, but because of her C-section, my sister couldn't get up. So
yeah, like it would take me a minute every morning to get out of bed. So like he's crying, then I started crying. We're both just laying there crying.
That's why Vivian sleeps with me, because when she would cry, because I had a C-section too, when she would cry, he would be asleep. He would be sleeping, wouldn't wake up and give Vivian to me. And so I just couldn't get up. I couldn't do it. So I said, you know what? I'm not about to hurt myself. I'm going to just put her right here.
And you got to be careful
with those stitches.
Yeah, with those stitches.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful.
I sneezed and I felt something separate. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but something ain't right down there no more.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. But like in general, honestly, I feel like I had a really good support system. Like my village is solid.
Yeah, thank you.
my village is solid. So
yeah,
that's good.
Okay. Do you have any other questions, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, both of you can answer this, but just what's your favorite part of motherhood?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I got a lot of good feelings from it. I enjoyed my pregnancy, for one. I loved I felt so beautiful, and I just like spending time with her. She's fun. She's really cute. I'm happy. I don't know. I have a joy. I don't think I've ever had this much joy in my life.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, or love. The love I feel, I didn't know that it was something I could have, because I'm kind of a, what do you call me, a hard ass, or?
She's a hard ass, yeah.
So this is something that I didn't know existed. It's just huge.
For me, it's that love too. Like I feel like, because it's just so surprising to me. This flawed person, and somebody loves me so much. I be looking at him sometimes like, me? You love me? Like he loves me so much, and it's just so wild to me, like me. Like he really loves me, and I love him too. But it just be some moments, he would want to cuddle with me or something like that.
I remember.
And I'm just like, wow, he really loves me.
Yeah. Such a sweet boy too.
He is. He's a sweet one.
But he gets that from his mom. So she's a sweet mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you both are great moms.
I just started.
I know you just started.
Been a year and a month and some change.
Yeah, I know you just started, but I feel like you've had to endure so much.
Yeah,
being, getting pregnant and having a baby, and you just kind of, you did what you needed to do, and you kind of just whipped it, and it was just like, okay, I'm a mom. I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. I gotta go back to work. I gotta do this, and you had to make sure that your baby was okay. Both of you guys, like with my sister, it was an incident where she had to end up basically like quitting her job to make sure that my nephew had the things and the support that he needed because
it was a good decision.
Yeah, it was a great decision.
Yeah, okay, so the backstory is my son is on the spectrum. He's autistic, and so it's really not a lot of places out there that will basically provide childcare for kids like my son,
especially then.
Yeah, especially back then. It was worse back then, like as far as daycares and things like that, and me taking him speech therapy, occupational therapy, stuff like that. Like I could not work and take care of him at with all the things that he needed. Like I would take him to different daycares, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we can work with kids," and then it turns out they really could not. They couldn't handle him. They didn't know what to do. Like it only got slightly easier once he got into school, and I was able to find services for him, and teachers' aides were provided for him, stuff like that. Like in the beginning, it was very hard. Like I said, I couldn't even keep my job because I just had no childcare for him. So like I said, it's easier now. But
how did you feel as a mother when you first found out he was autistic?
Okay, so from just a few months old, I felt something.
Really?
Yeah. Like how they talk about like lack of eye contact and others. Like it was stuff even when he was a baby I noticed, but I really didn't take it seriously until maybe 2. And I felt something was going on, but I didn't know what. So it might seem like a weird answer, but when I found out, I was actually kind of relieved, because for me, the worst part was feeling like something was going on, but not having any answers. So
that's
when
a good answer, though.
Thank you. When I found out, it kind of cleared things up. Like, okay, now I know what's going on. Now I can start, kind of making a plan. Or at least look for something. Okay, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Who do I need to? For me, the worst part was not knowing, suspecting something, but not knowing. So when I got that letter, and after all the testing, it was kind of like,
like, ooh, okay, that's
good.
I
was like, okay, so now I know. Because not knowing was the worst. So like I say, it might sound like a weird answer, but I was actually relieved, because I'm like, I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, what that kind of reminds me of? I'm sorry to kind of like sidebar it, but on the Cosby Show, when they found out Thea was dyslexic, and they were ecstatic that they found out, because they were like, okay, now we know what's wrong. Like they were like, oh my God, you're not. They're like, you're not just just out here doing whatever. Like, you're dyslexic. Like, okay, that's great. Like they were ecstatic. Like, yes,
yeah.
So
that's how I felt, because I'm like, okay, now I can make some type of game plan, or so I can plan what's next. So yeah.
I think I'm gonna call my mom in here real quick for a special guest. So Charlie, if you have a question, go ahead and
this next question is kind of broad, so like, if I don't know if it's hard to answer or not, but what are some of like the biggest lessons you have learned as a mother? So Mia and Michelle, I don't know who wants to go first, or if you even have an answer for that.
You go first, because your answers be really good and mine's be okay, because I just started this motherhood.
Patience.
Really? You got a lot of patience.
I thought I did too, until I had a baby.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like he kind of helps me with that. Just patience. standing up for myself, standing up for him, because in the beginning, his first pediatrician did not even want to listen to me when I told him I suspected my son was autistic, you know? Like actually having to, you know, take the time out, find another doctor, actually speak up, tell him my concerns, you know, because like I said, growing up, I was a very shy, quiet person. So
I was really shy.
Yeah, so having to, you know, really be assertive for me and for him, I feel like he brought that out of me. I never thought I would be like a mama bear or anything type of person, but it's like for him, I feel like I have to be. And I'm trying to think anything else. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Well, you can answer, Michelle. That was it for me.
Oh, you know what? I forgot the question.
Repeat the question.
Yeah, if there's just anything that motherhood has taught you, like any big lessons or just any lessons at all.
I don't know. I think I'm still learning, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have something else to say.
For me? Oh, you got
yeah. Kind of learning to listen to yourself, your own intuition, because one thing I found out quickly when you become a mother is everybody tells you how to be a mother. They don't really, and the thing is, it's so many different ways to be a parent.
Yeah.
So I would get like very conflicting advice. Some people like, oh, you gotta feed the baby on the schedule. Oh no, you should feed when the baby's hungry. Oh, you should sleep when the baby sleeps. Oh, you should take advantage, you know, you should take advantage or whatever, and you know, do what you have to do while the baby's sleeping. So I feel like
people do say stuff that
it was really annoying. Yeah,
I appreciate everybody's advice though.
Yeah, and I listen, but in the end I still do.
Yeah, I did. They told me, they said, don't feed your baby while she sleeps, because then you'll never get away from her. But I do it all the time, and I can't stop.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I try not to be overbearing when I be around new mothers, because it was a lot for me.
Yeah.
Especially because people will always, you know, be giving conflicting advice. So,
well, everybody thinks that they're giving good advice to mothers, new mothers, and so everybody's, and especially a mother. Or older mother like me.
Hi guys, this is my mom.
Yeah, she's.
I was wondering. I just started talking. I don't know.
I was gonna give her an official introduction, but she jumped on in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is my mom, Wanda, and I also have a special guest, my favorite aunt, Auntie Terry, here too.
Hi.
She's a mom as well, so we just wanted to jump in the conversation too.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
So yeah, did you have any lessons you learned as being a mom?
Well, I've learned a lot of lessons as, you know, being a mom. I always thought that whatever I didn't have as a child, that my children would have. I always thought.
Why was that important to you?
Well, the reason why it was important, because when I was little, I always wanted a birthday party.
Oh.
Never had birthday parties.
Oh, guys.
No, I never did. So I said to myself, my children are going to have birthday parties, because I'm still, even though I still feel young at heart and a kid at heart, and whatever I didn't have, I wanted my children to have. So that's why they had all the birthday parties.
They had the best birthday parties.
Yeah, we had adult parties.
Hotel
parties.
Pizza. No, thank you.
Pool parties.
Yeah, we did.
For
sure.
But we never had birthday parties.
I didn't have birthday parties either.
Really?
Yeah.
But I wanted I wanted my girls to have better than what I had, you know.
They were beautiful parties.
Thank you, Michelle.
They really were.
They were. And I enjoyed them just as well.
I mean, y'all had a clown. That was a big deal. He came up in there and made balloons, and he cussed at me one time, but
Yeah, he whispered it. Uh-oh. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I remember.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mr. Bones.
Yeah,
Mr. Bones.
Mr. Bones was the clown. What about you, Auntie Terry? Do you have any lessons that you think you might have learned being a mom?
What? I what I learned is, I adopted my son, and I got him. He was kind of a bonus from letting people stay with me, and what I realized is that they don't have your DNA. They have what you teach them and what you instill in them, but that other person's DNA is still in them. And with my son, what I learned is there's a part of him, because he has a feeling of neglect, that I cannot touch, that I have to have a relationship with God that allows me to understand that. Somebody once told me that no for him is always going to be rejection. He's always going to have a real problem with that. It's true. But I know the greatest things is that I've instilled in him, and I know parts of me can overrule that DNA sometimes, because I say, oh, that's something I would do. And so my goal to make him a good citizen and to give him things that I didn't have. I mean, exactly like Wanda. One day when I looked up, my son had 22 pairs of shoes and he probably was 4 years old.
Oh,
Why?
yeah.
Why though? And I had shoes growing up, but just that was the thing, I thought that you were supposed to do. You go shopping every weekend for your son, or, and I always tell new parents, we always go in the store straight to the kids section. We never go in for ourselves. We go directly in, and I've learned that. Like, you got to go in for yourself sometimes. And you got to say, he got 22 pairs of shoes. He's good. He don't need another pair.
Okay. Well, interesting take on it. Okay. Thank you guys for coming in and joining us.
Okay.
Too.
Are we still?
No, you're not dismissed. You don't have to be.
Oh, okay, to turn the air on.
Okay. Do you have any other,
She
Charlie?
turned it on.
What was that, Ashley?
Have any other questions? Maybe for my mom or anything?
Yeah, I'll just ask for whoever wants to answer. Is just what's it like raising children during a pandemic? How has that affected motherhood?
Scary. I'm so scared.
Oh, God.
I canceled. She had a doctor's appointment. Her 12-month. I canceled it. I ain't called them back and rescheduled it or nothing. I don't want her to go anywhere. It's terrifying.
It really is. As for me, I in the beginning, when it all started happening all so quickly, I was just terrified. I was my anxiety did raise up, and I didn't want Ashley to go nowhere. I didn't want Mia to go nowhere. I just wanted everybody to stay home. So it really put my anxiety level at an all-rate high. Because I do suffer with anxiety, and it just put it at a high level. But as things started slowly, surely, numbers calming down, and then my anxiety went down. So I'm much better on that now. But it was.
Mine is still high.
Really,
I can't stay where I am. I have to keep going. I can't. I just have to let it go. But I'm still nervous.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, I got to visit, so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I get sprayed down when I come in, but
You do?
Yeah, she gets sprayed down with Lysol.
I want alcohol. She sprayed me with Lysol. I was like, oh, but you know what? I have a teenager. It's difficult. And twice his friends have been put out during the pandemic, and one guy is still with me. The other guy's mother made him come home, but the other guy's mother never called to say anything. And so he's still at the house. She's never called me to say thank you or,
So you took someone in during the pandemic.
I took someone in during the pandemic, and I had to pray, like, God. But the funny thing about him is, he had been around us. He kept being around us, and he's really a homebody. Like, he stays
to himself. So he didn't really go anywhere. He doesn't have many friends. But they, to me, don't take it serious enough. Come in, take your clothes. Not them. No, they just, my son absolutely believes that it's a lie, that it's something to put us into panic. What? Yeah, and I said, how many husbands and wives died together, whole families. So, I have to be prayed for. I'm raising somebody that is a total, to me, he's militant on the way he thinks. He thinks it's a systematic thing. So, like I said, some DNA I can't control. But yeah, this is the worst for me. Like, it's the worst. It's the worst.
For me, it hasn't been too bad, but that's because I'm already a homebody, so I don't really leave the house.
Yeah.
So when they said everybody stay home, I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Yeah, and my trips to the store were like 6 hours long. I'm going to 6 stores because I've been in the house for a week. I'm out of control.
Yeah, I was fine. Like, only going out when I needed to, food or whatever. I was fine with that. It was the only thing that was like personally for me difficult was like the homeschooling, if you even want to call it that.
Oh my gosh.
It was really annoying. Like, it is like trying to teach a child math and you're not good at math and stuff like that. That was the only thing for me. Like I said, and another thing I wasn't too upset about was like, as far as being outside, because I kept saying to myself, well, people are actually, dying from this. It would be silly of me to be selfish. Oh, I have to get out the house for this. Oh, I have to get out the house for that. And it's like people are not making it through this.
Yeah.
So, if I got to stay in the house, I got to stay in the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any other questions for them, Charlie?
No, I think I answered as we went along.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any suggestions or any advice for new mothers, anything like that?
I have an advice. If you need to get a divorce, get a divorce.
Whoa!
Okay, that is
all right.
New mother Michelle. Okay, get that divorce.
New divorcee Michelle. Okay.
Yeah.
You need mental support, and I think that it takes a village for real, and that you can't be a mother who's standoffish and your kids are too good to play with those kids. I mean, you have your boundaries, but your kids need to go out and discover the world and see that it's not always the yes out there. They need to see how other people live. And the best thing that I ever did was going away from home. And it helped me to see what a loving family I had. My mother wasn't a perfect mother, but it helped me also grow to who I wanted to be. My mother had I'm going to say that she had a lot of control over me. I know it's hard to believe right now, but she had a lot of control over my thoughts, and whatever I did to please her and whatever. And her intentions were good, not that she was trying to keep me, but she lived out of fear. And so I think that's my problem with my son. I made him fearless. I always told him you could do anything you put your mind to, you can do it. Do whatever you want to do. So it's just learning balance. But it's always, I feel like you need a village to help you, because everybody raises their children differently. And you sometimes just need a release. Or you might need somebody that will look after your children so you can just run out and get your hair done.
Yeah.
Or just walk the streets because you just need some me time. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us in the podcast. That was my extra special guest. Yeah. Hopefully you guys will come back. Hopefully you like what you hear.
Yeah, me and Terry would like to come back, and we have a special, podcast that we like to do.
You like to do?
It's called the Terry and Wanda Show.
The Terry and Wanda Show.
Yes.
Okay. We'll have to do the. You guys want to do the theme song for it right now?
Oh, we can't remember. We used to have.
Okay, they used to have a theme song for it. Okay, we'll have to have you guys back for it.
But it is the Terry and Wanda show.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or is it Wanda and Terry?
I think it's Wanda and Terry.
Wanda and Terry.
Yeah, I do. I think it's Wanda and Terry.
We
put
that
even though we're not alphabetical.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for having us. Bye.
Okay. Thank you guys. Okay, we got the young moms back.
Okay, what are we gonna talk about? Dicks or
No.
Welcome to the Wanda and
Terry.
Yeah, they're practicing for next time. Okay. Is there any topics that we missed or anything like that?
Do you guys have any other questions for us?
The only thing that I can think of now that they're out the room is there anything that your parents did or taught you that you kind of wanted to unlearn or do differently with your child?
your mom said something too about that. How she never had birthdays. I didn't have birthdays either. And I don't think it was anything personal.
Sorry,
I don't
Vivian's
think
here,
it's
guys.
anything personal, but my birthday was in December. It was right before Christmas, so nobody was gonna do double Christmas. I mean, you can't.
Birthday.
Yeah, you can't do that. So my mom, I didn't have it, and it didn't affect me, but I enjoyed you guys' birthday so much. I was like, I want that for Vivian. I want her to have a special day for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. So that's what I plan to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to be a little more communicative with what's going on and are you okay? You can share, speak up. I'm going to be more communicative because I remember I didn't have a voice really as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a good childhood, but I wish I could have said, hey, I feel this way. Because even now I'm struggling. Like I said, I was in the hospital after I had my baby. And I couldn't say, I feel crazy. I feel uneasy. I don't know what's going on. I couldn't do that. But that's because I never, was able to speak up as a child. I never had that opportunity.
To express your emotions.
Yeah, to have somebody hear me. I was taken care of, but I wasn't vocal about, anything. I didn't even, this is shady, but my mom, I couldn't even write my own Christmas list. I just got whatever she gave me. I didn't even pick out what I wanted. But it made me into the one I am today. I'm appreciative, but I'm going to change a couple of those things.
Okay. What about you, Mia? Anything that you think you're going to do different or trying to do different with Braylon?
Kind of something Michelle was saying. I feel like our generation is going to be the last of how, children are supposed to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's not just me and you, Michelle. I feel like a lot of our generation kind of felt like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to have open communication. I'm okay with my son having opinions. I'm okay with my son saying no. It's annoying, but I want him to have a voice. I don't want to continue that tradition of children being seen and not heard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think anything different. I just want to be very more involved in my son's life.
Mm-hmm.
I just randomly asked him, Braylon, what do you want to be when you grow up? He told me he wanted to be a paleontologist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going online, Googling how to be a paleontologist. I feel like our parents just kind of, I'm trying to think how do I say it? They just kind of, I don't know, let us live life. I guess.
Yeah, I was free. I had a freedom.
I like the freedom at the same time.
But I wanted to socialize. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe it could have been encouraged because I was raised pretty good. I had a good family, but I just don't know how to communicate. I have bad communication skills.
I think one thing that I will work on if I ever do have kids is, I know I'm not a mom yet, guys. Sorry, I jumped in like that. But I would just want my kids to be more free, as opposed to, and not being the fear of me and what I'm gonna say judge them. If my kids want to be, if my kid wants to be a stripper or a lesbian,
or I don't have no issue with my son. Gay, straight, whatever. I want him to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to be happy. I want him to be able to come to me any problem, because sometimes there is disconnect with children and parents. There's not like open communication. I know there's sometimes parents, I'm not one of your little friends. I want him to be my friend.
I don't want him to be my friend though.
I want him to be.
That's a good perspective.
I want him to come to me for anything, because kids are stupid,
true.
And I don't want him to go to other kids for advice. Come to me. So
that's good. That's true. I need to.
I am your
Maybe
friend.
we can be friends, Vivian.
Sorry, I know we made this long.
Yeah, sorry if it's too long, guys. And if you're still listening, thank you so much for getting all these different perspectives of women and different aspects of life. And just, our family talk loves to talk. So
it was ready.
They were ready. I didn't know my mom and her
snack in here.
Yeah, they were eating and dialecting and all of that. So thank you guys so much for participating again and answering questions.
I appreciate it. I appreciate hearing both your perspectives, and I don't know, you both are so inspiring, and so I don't know, just great mothers from what I see online and from what Ashley tells me, and I don't know, I just really appreciate you being on this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Did you have any other questions or anything like that, Charlie?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess it's time to end it off with a quote. So the quote that I have here is okay, it says, "Mother is a verb. It's something you do, not just who you are." And that's by Dorothy Canfield Fisher.
All right.
So thank you. Yep. Thank you guys. And thank you to all the moms listening. If we have any mom listeners, let us know. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you guys. Bye.
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 Bye. That was me twice.